background had already given me insight on how to solve business problem, how to generate insight and all of that. So yeah, that was how I found my way into business analysis. And for a while, I've been sharing a lot of things on business analysis, a lot of um, messages and information on business analysis. And I thought today to let's have a webinar on this. And I'm not here alone. I'm not going to take this alone. I'm here with my team partner, Abele Patricia, who is a business analyst also. So I'm going to share my screen right away. Let's get started. And this call is being recorded. So just in case you want to go back to what we did, you can always just you can always get the information. So let me quickly share my screen. So this is it. So please, Patricia, I'm leaving the floor for you to start.
Good evening, everyone. Let me turn on my camera. Good evening, everyone. I hope we are all doing okay. My name is Abile Patricia Adiku. I'm a business analyst with 3 years. Okay, that's good. So, I'm going to be explaining the business analyst role, and I'm going to be enlightening you all on the skills needed to become a business analyst, as well as the learning paths to become a business analyst and the best practices. Okay. Okay, so first of all, we're going to be explaining the term business analysis. So the business analysis is simply the process of understanding business problems and then finding solutions to improve how a company works. So in essence, a business analyst, what do they do? Business analysts are in charge of finding the problems in a company, and then they find methods to solve these problems by streamlining processes to make the workflow more efficient and easier. And also, they are the bridge between the technical team and the business. So the common tools business analysts use, first of all, we have the project and the task management. A business analyst, they're in charge of tracking the task. They use applications. They use systems like Jira, and these systems help us to track tasks. They help us to prioritize tasks. The Jira breaks down the task into things called sprints. Sprints are breakdowns. They're like mini size chunks of tasks, so that you won't have to do everything at once. So you break it down into sprints. A sprint can last, depends. A sprint can last for like a week or 2 weeks, typically 2 weeks. So at the end of every sprint, appraisal is done by the team in an agile environment, to be able to know how the project has gone and if there's any other improvement that needs to be done. It's being done at the end of every sprint. And also, a business analyst uses other tools like Trello and Asana, which helps to organize tasks and deadlines. They also make use of business intelligence and reporting tools. These are tools like Power BI and Tableau, which aids for data visualization for business insights. They make sure that these tools clearly shows what the report is about. It helps to make business decisions, and then it helps to tell the story, which makes it easily understandable for non-tech teams. And also, a business analyst makes use of spreadsheets, which could be the Excel sheet, Microsoft Excel sheets, and also the Google Sheets. This helps to perform.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And also the Google Sheets, just like Excel, does the same thing. It helps us to perform data analysis functions as well, which all helps to make business decisions. And also we have tools like the databases and the data querying in form of MySQL and PostgreSQL. You can learn any of the two. Really, they're the same thing. They only have slight differences in few functions. So what exactly does a business analyst do on a daily basis? First of all, the most important thing that a business analyst do is functional analysis, which is in form of requirement gathering. Requirement gathering is all about knowing what a company, knowing what a business needs, and the methods you use and draw out these requirements. You can use methods like you can do one-on-one survey, you can do interviews, right? You can do questionnaires. All these methods helps to draw requirements to know what needs to be done, why it needs to be done, how it should be done, and the results expected to be achieved after these tasks are being done. And after that, we move on to um, process optimization. It's the role of a business analyst to optimize processes for the organization. You have to identify the inefficiencies, how to solve them. Basically, you have to find a way to make work easier in a business, right? So that's the function, to make it easier, to streamline the process, to make sure everything works faster. Because the goal of a business is to make sure things are done faster to create more results. And also, the business analyst is in charge of performing change management as well as project management. You know, as a business analyst, you are in charge of managing change. You have to support the change to make sure that it's easily adaptable by the stakeholders, and make sure that everybody is in line with the change. Because easily transmitting from one system to another could lead to serious clashes. So as a business analyst, it's your role to like manage this change to make sure it's easily acceptable by your stakeholders. And also project management, business analysts also perform roles of managing projects as well, although not in all organization, but every business analyst, at least to an extent, know how to do project management. Although in some establishments, they hire separate for project managers and business analysts, but it's good to have a good knowledge of project management. And also, it's your function as a business analyst to perform stakeholder alignment and engagement. You have to make sure that everybody is up to date with what's being done. You have to make sure that everything is being communicated effectively with your stakeholders, your business leaders, your IT, your developers. It helps everybody to be in line with what is being done, and it helps to manage expectations.
As a business analyst, what are you going to be doing with your data analysis background or your data analysis knowledge? First of all, is data investigation. And what is data investigation? Let's assume you are giving a data from your company, or a business, or where you're working. The first thing you are going to do is to understand the data. You're going to take a look at the data, a proper look at the data. You have to identify gaps, ensure that what are you going to get from this data? What does this data consist of? Do we have the gender? Do we have the sales? Do we have the products that they are selling? So just a proper understanding of the data you are giving to, that is the first thing you do when you get a data as a business analyst. Now we go over to data management. And what is data management? This is like cleaning your data and making sure your data is ready for analysis. If you don't have a clean data, there is no way on earth you are going to submit a proper analysis, or there's no way on earth you are going to get proper insights to solve business problems. Now, we have tools like Excel, SQL, and even Power BI that we use to clean our data. We have to remove duplicates. We have to ensure that we don't have empty rows, like null values and all of that. So this is one way as a data analyst you have an edge as a business analyst, understanding how to do data investigation, understanding data management, organizing and cleaning. There are times that they give you data from a company. I remember there was a time I was given a data from a company to work on, and the data was not even complete. There were a lot of missing data that I would need to give insight to this company. I had to reach out to the team and say, oh, please, this data is not complete. What am I going to do? And it was observed that they didn't actually give me the complete data. So that's why it's very important as a business analyst. You have to know these things, data management. Now we'll talk about data to insight. What does data to insight mean? I always teach my students what are insights. Insights are having a deeper understanding of a data. You have to know the why, you have to know the how, and you have to know the what next. You are given a data, and at the end of the day, you just submit facts and say, oh, at the end of the month, we just sold 1.2 million naira for at the end of the month, that was what we sold. That is not, you've not generated any insights, you've not solved any problem for the business. That's the truth. But if you're able to look into why did we make up to 1.2 million naira this month, now maybe you compare the sales for this month to last month, and you saw that, oh, there was a drop in sales this month, meaning that something went wrong. What went wrong? Is it that the products that people like, we do not have it? Or is it that there was something happened? Why do we not have the data? I mean, why is it that sales are going? So these are questions that you need to answer as a. So that's what now the next one is, you've analyzed your data, you've gotten insight. How do you communicate? I always tell my students that communicating your data should be like storytelling. It should be like a way that if somebody see your analysis or your dashboard, they shouldn't have to do too much to be able to understand what you just did. Even a layman should be able to see your dashboard and say, oh, this was what happened here. Oh, in December, we had more sales. Oh, in 2023, we had more sales. Or this was what happened. These are where our customers are coming from. We don't usually have customers here. So I always talk about data communication. You should make sure that you communicate your data very well. It should be more of storytelling. Don't just do, oh, I've done my dashboard, I've brought out facts and all of that. No, data to insight and data communication is very important as a business analyst. So these are the data analytics role that a business analyst is advised to have while you're going into business analysis. So I'm going to go to the next slide. It says, where do business analysts work? A lot of people ask that question. Now, a business analyst can function in any way. I mean, finance. Sorry, let me let someone in. I think someone wants to join. Okay. So a business can work in finance, they can work in healthcare, manufacturing, telecommunication, government, consulting, or business services. So a business to a particular sector or an industry. No, a business analyst can work anywhere. You are able to analyze data and able to draw insight from the data. You can recommend solutions. You can recommend the next even produce with your analysis. So every industry analyst, every single needs a business analyst. So let's go to the next slide. I think this slide I'm leaving it for my team, Patricia. The skills needed to become a business analyst, where we have project management, domain knowledge, business analysis, business case writing, storytelling, and communication. So I'm going to hand over to her now to explain these skills that a business analyst need. So yes, let me just mute my mic. And
Can you hear me clearly?
yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So as a business analyst, I don't know if you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, just react, just wave or something. Okay, okay, beautiful. So as a business analyst, having project management to skill is very important. As I said earlier, so why is project management important for BAs? It helps us to understand the timelines, the scopes, and the constraints of a project. Okay, as a business analyst, what I do usually, anytime there's a project, right? Having the knowledge of project management usually helps me to understand the scope. Why are we doing this project? Why are we carrying it out? And what are the timelines that we have? What time frames have we been given to carry out this project? And it also helps to know the constraints. In every project, it's given based on experience. It's given that you must experience constraints. It's very hard for you to do a project without experiencing constraints. So it's one of the things that comes with the job. So as a business analyst, you have to know all these things. You have to clearly state the scope so that you don't go out of scope. While drawing your requirements, you have to know what you want to achieve. If you find that you are going out of scope, you go back and re-strategize. And also, having the knowledge of project management helps us to effectively collaborate with project managers and stakeholders, as well as other teams. It helps us to meet the business needs. And also, it helps us to improve our risk assessment and perform change management when business requirements evolve, because change is bound to happen. There is no constant in every business. In every business, there's always a time for change. I remember in my organization where I work, we needed to like do a new system. There was like a system upgrade, and it was very, very hard because people were finding it hard to like adapt and everything. But gradually, you have to like make sure that they pick up, make sure that they adapt and see the need for this change. How do you make people adapt to change? You have their strategies, there's the outcome method, and also you have to like make them hit the formal system in place. You have to make sure they hit it, not like hit per se. You have to make sure that they see the importance of the new one that is going to be implemented and see what they stand to gain from the new one as against the old one. And also it enhances the ability for us to track our progress to see if we are making progress or not. Okay. And also domain knowledge. Domain knowledge refers to a deep understanding of the industry. Like, what do they do? There are many domains in business analysis. There are system business analysts, there are healthcare business analysts. There are different ones. It's broad. There's fintech business analysts. It depends on the domain you find yourself. You have to understand, what domain do I belong? What do I need to know in this field, right? So as BAs, having a good domain knowledge, it helps BAs to provide more relevant solutions. It helps them to communicate more effectively with the stakeholders and also to anticipate challenges specific to that industry. As yeah, business case writing, I'm going to be brief because of our time so that you guys can ask us questions after everything. A business case is a document that clearly shows why the project is being carried out. It shows how why it's being carried out. It also shows how shows the solution that should be implemented. It presents the problem, all the possible solutions, the benefits, the risk, the cost analysis, and it also helps stakeholders to make informed decisions. Why is it important? A business, you can't just start a project without having a business case, because you're bound to go bankrupt. You have to know the cost, you have to know the risk. What do you stand to gain carrying out this project? The document shows everything clearly, the benefits, everything makes it clear. It helps us to secure the approval and the funding for the project. But you can't just go and stand and say, okay, oh, I want to carry on this project. You don't have a business case, you don't have the solution, you don't have anything. You won't get funding. You have to clearly show the sponsors that, okay, this is what you are doing, and then the sponsor will go through it and approve to release the money for this project. It helps us to identify a clear approach. It helps us to provide a structured approach to decision making. Because if everything is clearly written, the benefits, the problems, the solutions, you are able to make better decisions in terms of the project. And also, it helps us to align business needs with strategic objectives. It doesn't help us go out of scope and do things that are not within scope. It makes us to stay accountable, makes us to stay focused on the particular thing, and helps us to meet the objectives more effectively. And also, it helps to assess the risk, costs, and benefits before implementation. So, business analysts, you don't just work with data. You have to be able to tell compelling stories that will help stakeholders to understand the problems, the solutions, and decisions. You have to be able to make them see it from your own eyes. You have to be able to tell them to able to make them understand the deep details of it. Help them break it down to other people. You have to make them to understand it perfectly, even to non-technical teams. Break it down for them. I know that as a BA, you are the role, you're like a bridge between the business and the technical team. So the technical aspects, you should have a knowledge of that. And also to the layman, you should be able to break it down for them in form of storytelling. And as a BA, you have to have strong communication skills. You can't say you're an introvert and you don't talk to people, you don't like talking to people as a BA. You will not grow. You have to know how to talk. You have to know how to effectively communicate, ask good questions. You have to learn how to probe and know when to ask these questions. You can't just go and just be asking questions, of course. You have to still identify the people you are asking this question. You have to be able to identify their mood, create a rapport with them, have that connection with them, and ask them so that they'll open up to you and tell you what you need to know. You have to make sure you are clear, actionable, and you are persuasive. Why is storytelling and communication important for BAs? It helps us to translate complex data into meaningful insight. It also engages the stakeholders and makes presentations very memorable because it's being broken down. It's not just complex data, it's broken down. So it makes everything more interesting and more easily understandable, even for non-technical teams. It also helps us to easily gather requirements by asking the right questions. As I said earlier, communication skill is very important in gathering requirements. So it's very important. You have to know how to tell stories. You have to learn how to communicate with your stakeholders for you to ask them the right questions that they'll be willing to answer without any issue whatsoever. And it also improves buying for recommendations by making them relatable and impactful. A business analyst who can communicate effectively and can tell compelling stories helps to effectively bridge the gap between data, business goals, and decision making. So I'm going to be leaving the floor for Victory. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you so much, Patricia. So I'm going to take over from her now. And I'm going to be talking about the learning path to become a business analyst. So probably you're here and you're of things. We are business analysis. We talked about Jira, we talked about Confluence, we talked about even Asana, we talked about visualization tools and all of that. So it's very important that you master these tools and also gain domain knowledge and industry experience. So if you're someone that wants to go into healthcare analysis or be an healthcare analyst, you have to have a domain knowledge of healthcare. I remember there was a time I was given an healthcare data to work on. Seeing the data, I didn't even know what to do. To be honest, I was blank. The terminologies used and everything, I couldn't even figure out anything. I had to first of all start reading on healthcare. I had to start reading on the particular disease I was given to work on. I had to start educating myself and getting insight from the data before I could even clean the data or even work on the data. So gaining domain knowledge and industry experience is very important as a BA. So wherever industry you find yourself or wherever industry you wish to work, if you're someone that has always wanted to work in the finance industry or someone that has always wanted to work in healthcare or even the oil and gas, you have to have domain knowledge. So these are the steps in becoming a data a business analyst. And I also talked about improved communication and storytelling skills. Like my partner has said that you cannot be an introvert and say you're a business analyst. You should be able to talk. You should be able to communicate your insights that even a layman can understand, even someone that does not have idea. I think there's something I always say, as a business analyst or as a data analyst, you should, your dashboard should just be able to give people an insight of what you're trying to do at a glance. You understand? So improve your communication and storytelling skills. And lastly, I said get hands-on experience and certifications. So we have business analysis certification like CBAP, PBA, and all of that. So getting certifications will also give you an edge. Now, I say best practices to stand out as a business analyst. First of all, prove that you can do the job. So I had a speaking event recently and someone was like, oh, how can someone stand out in the tech space? And I said, you have to have audacity. See, you cannot wait to be 100% perfect before you come out there and say, oh, I am a business analyst, because the learning never ends. You keep learning. So prove that you can do the job. Showcase your work. Tell people this is what I do. Work on projects, even if you've not started working or you've not got a job. We have so many sites where you can get data to work on projects. Sometimes you can even volunteer. You can go to a company and say, oh, I want to be a business analyst. I found out that this problem you have, I found out that I can bring this solution for you as a business analyst. So prove that you can do the job. Never neglect business skills. Develop technical and analytical skills. Communicate like a leader. As a BA, you are a leader. Sometimes in some companies, as a BA, you are even involved in the hiring process of that company. Yes, let's assume a company wants to start a project now. They need you as a business analyst because you are the one that understands the business. You are the one that have written the business case, everything that project is concerned about. You've written the money they need. You've written everything they need. That's what a business case contains, like everything that you literally need on that project. And sometimes they put you in the HRO team to also be part of the hiring process, because you have to interview the person coming. Can this person actually do the job? Because you as a business analyst, you know what the job is all about. So it's very important that you develop your technical and analytical thinking skills and communicate like a leader. Also, stay curious and keep learning. Like I say, in the tech space, the learning never stops. You have to keep learning. And also, adaptability is the key. You should be ready to adapt to all situations, to any industry you find yourself. Oh, today I'll tell you that currently I'm someone in the e-commerce industry. I'm more into the e-commerce industry than any other industry. Tomorrow I might find myself in the healthcare industry. Like I said, I was given a project at some point to work with an healthcare data. I should be able to adapt. I will not now say, oh, please, I cannot do this. I don't know anything about. All I need to do is to learn, educate myself. I don't know if you understand. So adaptability is the key. And with that, we have come to today's webinar where we just share knowledge on what business analysis is all about. So if you're thinking to transition or you've transitioned and you have so many questions, so the floor is open now for you to ask. Thank you so much. So we have Frances. Good evening, Esther.
All right. Thank you very much for this session. So my question now is to Victory. I don't know if she's still here. Victory. Okay, let me just ask my question. Please, can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, let me continue. So you said you studied chemical engineering, able to transition into business analysis. Because myself, I studied microbiology. And I'm just in the process of transitioning. I don't have any business experience at all. None at all. I'm just starting. I'm starting with data analysis. So what advice would you give me in order to successfully transition into business analysis and also get a well-paying job with it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Yes, I said earlier that I transitioned from chemical engineering into business analysis. So one thing I'll tell you, you're already on the right track. Like you said, analysis. So I'm going to tell you to take your time. I used to say tech is not a race, it's a journey. So first of all, now that you've already started learning your analytics tools, take your time to learn it. When you learn it, in the process of learning, you are going to be working with so many projects. I will encourage the industry that get a business data, exploit, work on this data, and find what interests. Do you understand? I think that was something that worked for me. I had worked as a business developer, but look at the industries that you just like. If you finance, try to work on data and all. Before you know it, continuous learning, continuous just wake up. I'm in process is a journey, and we've already started the process. You're already there. Understand? I know your niche, how to go down to either an healthcare analyst or a business analyst or marketing analyst or whatever niche you want to go into. So I don't know if this answers your question.
Yes, 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 ma'am. I guess it's just about taking my time and being patient. Thank you.
Yes, you need to take your time. Thank you. So thank you so much. As answers here, we have Nemeka, we have Solomon. Please ask your question. What we've done so far. We have Frank. Welcome. Hi, Frank. Good evening.
Hello, Victory. Yes, good evening, Victory. How far?
Yes, I can hear
Are you
you.
getting me? Yes, I want to say thank you a lot for all you are doing. I appreciate. So my question is, I want to ask. Sorry. First, my name is Frank. I'm Cameroonian. I'm working like quality control operator in tomato paste factory. So since 1 or 3 months, I'm too much interested about business analysis. So I want to know what are the skills that differentiate a successful business analysis on this market today. Hello? Yes, I am getting you.
Okay, so like I said, if you want to stand out as a business analyst, I would advise you to have a data analytics background. It's very important. Like, it gives you an edge. We have a lot of business analysts out there that have no idea of data analysis. They have no idea on how to use the tools or how to work with any data analysis tools. They are just BAs. But one thing that will make you stand out is data analysis skills. That is one. Another skill that will make you stand out is your project management skills. Because if you have your project management skills, you're going to understand timelines, deadlines, collaboration with stakeholders, change management, track process, and a lot of stuff. So as a business analyst, you should have your data analysis skills. You should have a project management skill. And also, we talked about any industry you are going to, you should have a domain knowledge of that industry. Do you understand? And also your communication skills is very important, because business analysis, we talk all the time. We're always talking. So it's important you know how to communicate, you know how to tell stories. I always tell people, communicate as if you are telling stories. So with these few skills, you should be able to stand out as a business analyst. You should be able to stand out as a business analyst. So does that answer your question?
Yes, yes, Victory. Yes. So you say most of the skill you need to have is like data analysis skills and project management skills, and also communication skills.
Yes, yes. These are important skills that will help you stand out as a business analyst. There are other
Okay.
skills, but these skills will help you stand out a lot.
Okay, thank you a lot. Can I ask another question, please?
Yes, it's fine.
I want to know, when you are working like a business analysis, what are the most common challenges you are facing during the project, and how do you overcome them?
Okay, I love this question, and I'm not going to answer it alone. Patricia will also help me answer it based on experience. So we are going to talk on based on experience now. I think one of the common challenge I've had, I'm going to mention two challenges. Patricia, I hope you are here, so you take over when I'm done. So one of the challenge I've had is these same communication issues we are talking about. Trying to communicate with stakeholders is not easy. Imagine you are telling your boss that this is the right way to take on this project, this is the right way we should go about this project, and your boss is thinking another way around it. In fact, he doesn't even believe in your strategy. That is
Yes.
a major challenge as a business analyst. So I always talk about emotional intelligence. I always talk about patience. I always talk about re-strategizing your method of presentation. If you are so sure that this way is going to work out and you are going to be able to achieve this project with this, those you have to know how to balance your emotions.
Yes,
You have
yes.
to, yes, you have to know how to balance your emotion. You have to know how to communicate properly to your stakeholders, to be patient with them. It's not easy working with stakeholders. So I think that is one major challenge I've faced as a business analyst. So I'm going to let Patricia take the another challenge she's faced as a business analyst.
Okay, one challenge I faced one time was with stakeholders. The stakeholders can be very, very difficult. Like if you're trying to get requirements from them, you're trying to ask them questions, they won't be willing to talk. Some of them can be very, I won't say introverted, but they won't want to talk. Or sometimes they'll tell you they are not in the mood to talk. So at this time, you have to know how to gain their trust, because not everybody will open up to you and tell you what you need to hear. You have to know how to ask the questions. So it all boils down to communication. You have to know how to effectively communicate. So that was it. And what I did that time, I gauged their response, and then I told them, when can I come back for this questioning session? So the person told me, so there I came back, and he was in a better mood. So it's not like you, because you want to get requirements, you want to draw requirement, then whether they are ready to talk or not, you just keep asking questions. You can't keep doing that. You have to make sure that these people are in the right frame of mind and also gain their trust so that they can open up to you, and then you get the information you need.
Yes.
Um another problem that I got once was changing requirements. Like we're doing the project already, then they now came and said, okay, there's something else that needs to be done, a new development, and we're already halfway there. So I had to now go to the project team and as well as the IT team, tell them that okay, this is a new development. there's this new requirement, that this new thing that came up. So we had to now do another new this thing
Another
all
thing,
over again, which helped,
yeah.
which now we had to like add more time to finish this project. And then in so doing, also the budget also got affected. So what I'm saying, as a business analyst, you have to also know how to like still stay within scope. And also, in case of changing requirements, you have to learn how to manage it effectively so that everything does not just go catastrophic. Thank you. You can ask
Mm.
questions if you have more. These are just few of the problems I've gone through. They are minimal.
So, Mr. Frank, are you okay with that?
Yes, I am very glad. It's okay for me. Thank you.
Okay, so any other question from Solomon, Inimeka, Francis?